Alright, so on this one we only put on the bridge, but we still have to take off these edges because they're pretty sharp. And what we're going to want to do is get them flush with the side of the neck, but we also want them, it needs to be at an angle too. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying, but so it needs to be flush, and then we need to chamfer it just a little bit. So just, I won't cut it out this time, but this thing makes some horrible noises. Check this out. So there we go, that's that one. Nice on the sides. I'll do a little bit more hand work on that to make it really nice, but that's all there is to it. Now I'm going to take the next one, which is the maple one we've been working on with the two tuners, and I'm going to do the exact same thing to the whole thing. So let's get started. Alright, you can see that I got a little rough here on the sides. I actually scuffed my neck up pretty bad. I'm going to take that back inside and I'm going to give it a light sanding with 320, and then I'm only going to coat from the sides with my polyurethane lacquer, but probably going to string it up, just see how it sounds before we do that. So let's go back in the house where it's warm and mount the cans on these things, huh? Alright, we're back inside. Now we need to get the can mounted onto the stick. This one has already been mounted once. You kind of saw that at the very beginning. So I'm going to run through it with this one, and then we're going to do it on the mahogany one with the Dr. Pepper. So first thing we need to do is take those 1" by number 6 by 1" screws. Those are Phillips head. I got my number 1 screwdriver right here, although I think that one might take a number 2. Now I've got tape on the can, and the reason I have tape on the can is I'm going to use that to line it up. I only really need one piece or the other. You can see there's already holes in there. So what I did was I put that on there, I held it where I wanted it to go, and then I kind of squeezed it on a little bit, and that put a mark on the can where I wanted the screws to be, or where the screws were, so that my can fit just where I wanted it to, and everything was lining up nice. So that's how I got them to where I wanted them. I'm actually going to back that one back out. We have to do the base, the bottom of the can first, because these 24-ounce cans, it's hard to reach down in the bottom unless you've got really awkwardly small hands. Okay, so that's the way that goes. Now we're going to slide that right in there. And because that screw is sticking up on the inside, we should be able to feel when it's hitting where it needs to go. Should be able to. There it is. I don't know, I could feel it. And then I'm going to go down here. Now those tape marks are going to show up real special here in just a minute. So now I can put that so that that can is right on the edge of that tape mark. And I'm going to bring this screw down in a little bit. And make sure everything's where I want it. Make sure that's lined up on the inside. And now I'm going to go ahead and see about tightening that right up. Now we pre-drilled holes so everything should go together nice. The screws, I think once we get that tightened in, that screw is going to be flush with the back. And tighten up the bottom one. See that? Nice and straight there. Get that snugged right up. Now because we have a piece of wood on the inside, it doesn't want to move around. So we're done with that. We're done with that tape. We take that right off of there. And we're starting to look like something now, isn't it? But we still got to put a couple of holes in the bottom of the can and put the strings on it. We're pretty much there. So let's get to it. We're going to mount the can on the other on the other stick. So this one hasn't been mounted yet. The first thing I'm going to do is take a screw and run it down into these holes. You like my pink screwdriver? Gonna run it all the way down in there. Cleans out the threads on the other side. Okay. Two. Want it to come out a little bit. Alright, so that we can leave a dimple on the bottom of the can. Go all the way through. That cleans the threads at the very top. Now I'm going to back it out. Alright. So this was the Dr. Pepper one. Remember, we actually trimmed it for the Dr. Pepper can. I'm going to take a piece of that tape, about the length of the can. And this really is kind of important because otherwise your can will be off center and it's just not fun. So I want to be right about where that UPC code is, right there. Alright, now if I put that on there like that, oh yeah, that's going to be slick. Alright, so now I know where I want to put the can. I'm going to line that up from the bottom. I'm looking down from the underside of the stick. Get that good and where I want it. I'm just going to kind of wiggle that can right around just a little bit so that I can see where those holes are. And I can see that there's one right there. The aluminum's really thin, so you don't need to get real rough with it. And if these holes end up a little bit big, that's okay too, because we've got that piece of wood on the inside that's gonna help it out. Set that back on there, and I'm gonna drive that screw right onto it. Looks like that fits good. I like where that's at. Do the same thing over here. That's where I put the drill and drive. wants to pucker a little bit there. We can give that a little help from the inside if we can reach it. Alright, let's back those back out of there a little bit. Now I'm going to grab the inside. Wouldn't bother putting any finish on that, but I think that's fine. It would work for me. I'm going to make sure I got it the right end up. That looks like that's the right end up. I'm going to slide that down in there, and I'm going to hook that hole on the other end of that can. It's the hardest part of the whole thing right there. I did. There, I got it again. My little screwdriver. Alright, now we can line that back up. Put everything just where we want it. Make sure that inside is right where we need it to be. I'm going to go right ahead with this screw too. Boy, I'm liking that. I want to put a whole lot of pressure on the can. It is only aluminum. But we can put all kinds of pressure on that wood because it's mahogany. What do you think of that? That's going to play nice, isn't it? You're picking and grinning? I like that. I like that a lot. Alright, so let's get the tape off of there. Shine her up any if we have to. You can align this if something's gone wrong, because that aluminum is awful soft. So I don't like exactly where that sits. So I'm just going to kind of smudge that hole over there just a little bit. And now that looks straight to me. I'm going to take that. Nice. Alright. That's it for mounting the can. That was pretty straightforward, I hope. Now we got to do some stuff to the bottom of the can, and we'll put a string in it, and we'll play it. It'll be good.